Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's GleeCon, and I am here once more with another episode of Lore of Warcraft, and I thank you for clicking and checking out this vid series. This is a show where, I do it all, and what we're going to do today is continue our excruciatingly detailed long play, where we hold hands through every heartbeat of a journey through WoW Classic. We're going to continue our Felwood Horde run right now, so stay a while and listen as we take Leekin's Soul, our Tauren Shaman, and continue. This will be our third installment of her going through Felwood. Felwood takes a little bit of time because there is an element of, to completionist an element of grinding with the Timber Mall. But we have a couple things we need to do. So we have the sample of slime is actually why we're here in the Undercity today. We need to travel out and go on the Zeppelin to Undercity to turn in. That was another part of our grind. We collected 50, probably overkill on the Slimewood sample. So I don't know the exact drop rate. My guess is the intended drop rate is probably somewhere around 1 in 3. But you know what that means with classic RNG. All of my OG, oh no, unless that just arrived, we are going to miss the Zeppelin. Maybe we'll get lucky and it just pulled up, but nope, it's pulling off right now. Bummer, bro. We're going to be stuck here waiting on the whole thing. We pull up to the bus station as the bus pulls off. Annoying. Alright, so, and that one pulled off too. We could have caught the Stranglethorn one if we really wanted. I've sometimes wondered, actually, if you guys can answer this in the comments for me if you want. Let's say what happens to me just happened and you miss the Undercity Zeppelin, or whatever, Gromgall. It doesn't really matter for the point of what I'm going to say. But you have time to just catch the other one, so in this case, the Gromgall. Would it ever be faster to just hop on the Gromgall, take that Zeppelin there, and then hope that you get the reverse situation, that right as you're getting there, you're 2 seconds away from the Undercity from Gromgall pulling off, and then you can zep to the Undercity? Like, how much time would you save? I wonder, like, I feel like going on a deep dive research on that. I could do that sometime on my own time, but I wonder, because how long is it between, let's say it pulled off 11:16 server time here, so we'll keep an eye to see how long. It was probably 11:17, but we'll be like pessimistic, we'll be conservative with our estimates, so we'll see how long it would take us in order for another one to show up. So that's step one, finding out the time. Then we would have to time how long does it take you to zep over to one. Probably about the same amount of time for either. We won't have to do this when we come back. Yeah, so then you add those 2 times together, and then you assume, best case scenario, you get to the other one and the other one's ready to go right away. So you're basically saying, what's longer? Is it longer to... Here's why I guess it doesn't work out, because, okay, let's say you save time. So let's just make a pessimistic thing and say, let's say this comes every 5 minutes. So we wait here 5 minutes now. We know we're waiting the full 5 minutes before we zap. Versus, let's say it takes 2 minutes when you're actually on the Zeppelin. So you could roughly save yourself 3 minutes, maybe, but you have to figure, if things are not staged, if there's not a set schedule and it's kind of a random cyclical thing, which is what I think, because they're not always leaving right at the same time like this. It kind of cycles through. So the 2 journeys are not identical, which creates a sort of like elliptical counterpart where it's almost like eclipses or whatever. Like at certain points what we see happen might just happen, except it's going to be a lot simpler than eclipses. Oh, I've got to update my LVOI because it's more than 5 out of date. Okay, that happens fast. I'll do that also in my off time. But there's probably only like a finite amount of states of being. I guess there's really an infinite if you think about the old Zeno's paradox. If you are shooting a arrow at a rabbit, turtle, whatever, and it takes X amount of time for the arrow to hit the turtle, then you can say, well, it must take half that amount of time for the arrow to get halfway, and then again you re-segment that. It takes half amount of time of that amount of time, and you can always continue having distance and having time infinitely. There's never a time when you can't have it. All right, so the Stranglethorn has already come back, so that is right there why our cyclical thing happened incorrectly. That took about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes to do its full journey to Gromgol and back. And it left after the Zeppelin one this time, whereas our Undercity Zeppelin is just now arriving. So this time they will be offset. So this took, let's say, like I said, it took, if we called it 16, it was probably really 17. Took approximately, we'll call it 5 minutes. So the cycle for the Undercity from, because now we're going to have to wait a few seconds for it to pull off, probably wait about a minute. So now we're waiting for it to go. So if you fully miss it, you're looking at a 5-minute wait here. And meanwhile, what are these people are asking for help on Uldamon? I would have been able to help them, but yeah, so they're already pulling off, and yeah, we're at 22. So argue it-ish 5 minutes, actually maybe a tiny pinch more and a tiny pinch less. So that's part of it also. This arrived, last time this one left a few seconds after this one did. And now it's probably leaving a solid 15 seconds, 20 seconds before this. So there's like a 30-second smaller rotation. So every now and then I'm sure they line up perfectly, but that 30 seconds, you know, let's say we're at a 5-minute wait here, maybe 5.5 minutes. So that buys you 11 or 12 cycles. That's just rough math, but I feel pretty confident of that tablecloth math. I might be off by, you know, a few in either direction, but it feels pretty good. So that explains why they don't perfectly line up. The cycle of Gromgol. So that means the only thing that actually affects it is not the map time. It's how when they come in from off the edge of the map. Like right now, when we zoom out, which way are we going versus which way Gromgol is shooting off in the other. No, I think they both. I don't know. I don't remember. They both kind of come in. And then now this one's going to come. It's got to be this part, because getting to and from Orgrimmar is probably about the same. Maybe just a pinch different. But it's got to be a quicker flight in to Gromgol than it does, than it is into Brill. That's got to be the only difference. That's got to be the majority of the difference. I don't know. I'd have to pay attention to the pathing. Alright, so that's a lot of rambling. What we will have to do is turn in these things here, these Felwood samples, and then we can just skip the 5-minute wait or whatever, 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, and so that was my estimation was about right. It took us about 2 minutes to fly in to the Zeppelin. So if it takes you 2 minutes to fly, if you just missed that, and let's say it took you 2 minutes to fly in, then you immediately caught that. Okay, you're turning a 5-minute wait into a 3-minute wait. So you could cut off, if you know you missed 100% like we just did. However, if you walk up and you don't know how much you missed it by, then it immediately becomes not worth it, because the opposite side of the coin also exists. I guess it's probably ultimately not worth the risk, because opposite side of the coin exists, and you go to Gromgal. You could be landing at Gromgal any point in that 5-minute cycle. We'd really have to actually do the math. This is the kind of thing when I was back in my college days, when I was working on my master's in math classes. These are the kind of things that I love to work on, because there's a paradoxical nature to a lot of math that is some simple things will surprise, like can be surprising but mathematically sound. Like, for instance, the infamous birthday paradox. It's like Stats 101 way of breaking common sense when you say it's something like now it's been a while since I've done this, but it's something to the effect of, like, let's say you take a room of like 25 people or something like that. What is the statistical chance? Do you think it's likely, if you had 25 people in a room, that 2 of them share the same birthday? And it actually, I'm pretty sure that very early on in the math, when you start working on the actual, like, conditional probabilities, pretty fast, like after around a dozen or so, the odds actually start to favor that 2 people will have the room. And I used to do adjunct, like a Stats 101 class, so I used to teach it so many times. And there was you like pretty much every single time in whatever class you'd find 2 people with the same birthday. So it does good for, odds are in your favor, especially if you get up to a class of like 25 people or whatever. The odds are so in your favor that it's really beneficial. What I was talking about before is the odds on this Felwood slime sample here. So the samples is, my guess, WoW has anywhere from a 1/2 to a 1/3 success rate, but because of RNG, that might mean that you have closer to a 1 in 10 success rate, or worse. You know, you could have, I've seen stories on Wowhead, horror stories, where people have actually, this is testing equipment. We can go red or green. I've also heard some weird conspiracy theories, like if you kind of stand close to it. So this is testing for corruption Felwood, and you can use either, oh, this is the green. The green one is the liquids and mixtures all bubble and spasm as you approach. Next to the equipment lies a large pair of tongs that look as though they would be adequate for dropping in samples of ooze. There is safety gear present, but it appears to be dusty and well ignored. I don't think touching anything would be wise. That's probably for the Ungoro, because it actually didn't let me click on it. Only the red one did. You take, this is to turn it, this is a repeatable quest we're actually going to do right now multiple times. So let's go to the old spreadsheet that we keep. So we're going to do testing for corruption plus and minus right now. We're going to open that one up. Okay, so this is just gonna happen for us. You take a sample of slime from Felwood and place some of it into the various tubes and beakers on the table. As things begin to boil and spurt, the slime changes colors. When the process slows down and the liquids calm, you see a small petri dish with your altered Felwood slime samples in it, along with some other remnants. Oh yeah, and the other remnants are what you actually get from this. So that's good. We're actually gonna get some loot out of this. You pick up the petri dish with the slime sample in it. The only way to discern if the sample is pure enough is to open it and examine the contents yourself. Ideally, you'll find a sample that fits Chemist Fuely's criteria. All right, now we're going to do it to all of them. I don't know if they stack.
My colleagues and I are gathering the deadliest substance.
I'm going to look and see if they stack. They don't, and you can only have one at a time, so you can't stack them. All right, so you open them. Yippee, we got glue. Now we're going to have to do this 50 times. Number 2. We did get one, so we're 50-50, and we got a boot. Number 3. We got more ichor. Number 4. We got one with Icar, so we're at 50-50. To make us sad, because then it's like, well, you should have only done 20. Oh, on 5. So at 5, we're at 3. 6, we got one, of course. It's always when you get too many, you got a large slimy bone with that one. It's always when you get way too many that you'll have plenty. Only a lifeless skull. Let's stop counting out loud. Oh, we got a raw black truffle on that one. Sick. I would not eat slime truffle. Okay. Oh, we got one and another skull. And this will take us to just 10 of them completed. So if we only got 10, meaning if we trusted the 50-50 nature of everything, because it's supposed to be, we need how many samples? Oh, you only need 5. Oh, jeez. So that's why we're not getting any more. We already have our 5. So we had better than 50-50 odds. Of course we did. Now, you can't do anything else, and once you turn the quest in, you can't turn these samples in anymore. So we're going to keep turning them in just to see what other kind of loot we get. That time we got a broken arrow. Like the John Travolta movie. Now we got a ghost mushroom. Unfortunately, this is not our alchemist. So we got 50 of these bad boys, and we got them in like 7 or 8. Oh, we got a silver leaf. That's useless. Yet another lifeless skull. So if you want to risk it, by all means. But I think the last time I did this quest, it took me around 28 to get the ones that I need. So your call. Obviously, the RNG was really good to us this time. But we've already done the kills and gotten the XP. Another boot. And, you know, whatever. We'll get a little bit of loot out of this bad boy. Oh, we got... I think we just got... Yeah, we got 4 broken arrows out of that one thing. Another bone. Another slime maker. See, this is the kind of quest that I don't need from WoW. This is why I like retail. Like, I've always been a stickler where... There is something cool about the leveling journey. I do like classic WoW a lot. I mean, obviously, I haven't even played retail now in over a year. I like it a lot, but there are parts of it that I do hate. I don't like quests that are just where you can see a path for them to be less annoying, and it's like it seems that there's no other way. Oh, we got an extinguished torch. That's the first one of those that we've got. There's no reason other than to, like, make you use more playtime. And that I don't like. Okay. Alright, we're down to 20. We've done 30 of our things. Another bone. Just kind of clean up as we go. Another stack of arrows. 6 that time. Weird. Oh, bruiseweed. That's useless. Another lifeless skull. We are stacking those bad boys up. Uh-oh, we have a full...
I can't carry anymore.
Okay. I'm gonna get rid of this single silver leaf. So we needed a new stack of slimy bones as well. Another torch. Another skull. I don't think these things are gonna sell for a lot. Another goo.
Inventory.
A purple lotus. I'm gonna get rid of the the bruiseweed for this purple lotus. Cool if I got a black lotus out of it. People would farm these things all the time. Alright, we're down to the final 10 with that boot. What was that? What was it? Oh, there's another raw black truffle. A single broken arrow. These guys are just full of them. Another skull. Come on. Lots of skulls. These guys just eat a lot of humans, I guess. Alright, we're in the final 5. That was another torch.
I can't carry.
Oh, our goo stacks are over. I guess I'm gonna get rid of my ghost mushroom. Because it's unlikely I'll get another one. Got another bone. Come on. Come to Papa.
Inventory is full.
What? I'm gonna get... Should I get rid of the purple lotus? Should I get rid of my 1 roasted quail? Get rid of the quail. Because I suspect that that will sell for less than the purple lotus, but I could be wrong. Last one. What is it? Another rawback truffle. Alright, let's turn this bad boy in.
Lady Sylvanas has ordered the...
No. You already told us that before.
Beware the living.
I will need at least 5 corrupted samples for our control group, Bleak and Soul. Continue to gather Felwood slime samples until you're able to give me that which we'll need. The Lady Sylvanas decrees it.
Ah, excellent. These samples will do nicely. I thank you for your help. Once we've gathered all the samples of slimes, we'll be able to determine more. I am beginning to suspect that Lady Sylvanas' hunch was not only correct, but more insightful than even she could have predicted. These samples are very interesting. Just seeing how they've reacted with my compounds. Yes, we'll definitely need to investigate further.
What was her hunch?
Watch your back.
Tell me more about Lady Sylvanas' hunch. Her lovely lady hunch. Alright, we're gonna hearth back now, and then we're gonna have to fly back to Old Bloodvenom. Yeah, because I don't think there's anything else really that we have to do right now. We'll talk to her and sell it up. I could buy another Ankh, but I'll be okay. 4 silver for a stack of boots, 7 for that. 3 silver for a purple lotus. 9 for stacks of goo. 3 for bones. 10 for skulls. 5 for those truffles. Okay. None's too shabby. Alright, we have plenty of shards we need to turn in as well. So we're gonna also kick that off when we get back. Okay, so now it's time to go on the flight path. Which is funny, for those of you that have not checked out the Patreon and seen the Assassin's Creed, there's one thing that I just cannot shake. When I played the Assassin's Creed series, all of them, we've played through, there's not as much side lore yet. There do end up being it's not like WoW where there's so many books that
You haven't
came
lived
out
until you've looked down on the world
almost from the beginning of the franchise. I do a spreadsheet if you look for that game too. Oops. Oh, I don't have it up right now. Oh. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't really need it up. But I do kind of a spreadsheet like this, but I do it for the Assassin's Creed as well. And there's just less. There is each game comes with a handful of collector's editions and art books and stuff like that. And there's a couple comics, but there hasn't been a ton. That's just not how it worked. However, there's a lot of really cool in-game lore with the whole database thing. I'd say there's more in-game lore than probably WoW even has. Just the nature of it. And there's some discussion in some of the strategy guides that talks about some of the conspiracy stuff in the game, which we'll also look at after the fact. But well, now I lost my train of thought. Let's see, I was talking about the lore. Well, guess maybe it'll come to me. It sounded like this. I'm like, let me pause and replay the tape and see what I was gonna say. But anyhow, we will go and drop off this stuff. We do have the Jaedenar. We have the corrupted Sabers. I think what we'll do when we land here is we'll march back down to turn in verifying the corruption. And oh yeah, it was actually a small little note. There is all kinds of flight paths. Not flight. It just did it even not playing the game. You get all the viewpoints in the different games, including the side games. So I played AC1 and I'm playing AC2, and there's a couple side games in the DS and PSP that also have the viewpoint. And every time, even right now when I'm trying to talk about them, I can't help it. I call the viewpoints in that game flight paths. I just don't know why those are mutually interchangeable in my head. Alright, so we're going to go from Blood Venom. We're going to march our way down. And turn in Verifying the Corruption. We're going to also go over here and collect. We have, it looks like, 6 sets, or 4 sets, I mean. So we'll get 8 more salves that will allow us to open up more water. More salve, so that we can do the plants. And then we'll hike over here. Actually, we won't hike over there. I know there's a Night Blossom always hanging out in the front of Jaedenar. So then we'll make our way back up and we'll get these kittens. And then we'll go up here and clear the entrance to Jaedenar. And hopefully get the Night Flower, which I think is our last plant if you look at our spreadsheet. We've done Whipperroot, Songflower, Wind Blossom, yeah. Oh, I forgot, first of all, let me add a few of these. And we just did another quest as well. So, sample the slime. So that one's now done. Now that one, I haven't fully finished the Ungoro version. I have collected all of the slimes on Alliance because it's much easier. I haven't gone grinding the same 50 or so that I'm going to do. I have been doing a decent amount of questing though. I'd say I don't know, it's hard to say exactly how much questing I've completed. I'm probably close to around halfway through Ungoro with both Alliance and Horde. I'm making good progress. Like, we're going to make really good progress on this zone. Probably not a ton today, but I think there's a pretty decent chance we can finish these and maybe finish the whole Jaedenar line today. And that would allow us to go wrap up anything else in this zone, except for the winter, spring killing, the wildkin, whatever they are. Oh, I wish I had I don't have enough salve, because I'd like that Songflower buff. Ours just wore off, because I spent so much time screwing around. Alright, so then we'll do another quest where we go up here and work on those guys. That will be the next episode, not tomorrow. Tomorrow I actually have a treat for us. I don't know, you guys may or may not think it's a treat. So we're getting pretty close in the overall timeline to, like I said, we're in that Doom of Draenor, and it's either going to be tomorrow's episode, which is my next in-game lore, or there's going to be one more. But one of the things we skipped, I'll pull it up right now. One of the things that we skipped in the chronology, so there's a few things that we've skipped so far that I'm waiting to come back to, and I'll explain my reasoning for it. So I'll lift the kimono a little bit here. Alright, so if you look at the undated lore, this is all the Dungeons and Dragons series of books. All of the first and second edition of the Dungeons and Dragons iteration of Warcraft. I don't love it. I feel like homebrew people have done a lot better job with a lot of this stuff. We read them all, and by read, I mean we skimmed, because it's not really lore heavy. It's functional Dungeons and Dragons style rules. It's really repetitive. We kind of just glossed over all of those books, but it still took us a long time. Some of those books took 3 and 4 episodes of hour-long to go through. Maybe 1 or 2 of them we finished in one go, but they're all very long, big books. Like, this would have extended our time weeks and weeks and months for no real lore purpose. But we reviewed all of them. I still kind of have like a twinge of guilt about how we covered those books, because we didn't cover every little facet. We didn't read every word. We did same thing with the strategy guide and the master guide. We did look at both of them, compared them, glossed them, but I did not read every word of the old Prima strategy guide for WoW. I just feel like it's not lore related. Now, for all of the issues, the 5 issues of WoW magazine, we actually, that's something I'm quite impressed with. I had to go through eBay channels and find bundles of those and get multiple copies of some of them. And that one we did a lot with. Let's turn in and get ourselves right now. And we read every word of all of those magazines, and that was something cool that we've done in this show. Those are rare. They were, I think, put out. You could
There are
sign up
plants in Felwood that may be saved from
BlizzCon.
corruption when
There's
Cenarian
more
plant salve
repeatable
is applied
quests.
to them.
You get
I
nothing
know how
for
to make
this
the salve from
other
several
than
different kinds of items. Based on your
the
skill
salve.
set, you may find that you have multiple options to assist me. You will also need a Cenarian beacon
Okay.
for your work here. It is a device that allows you to see the taint and corruption of nature that the naked eye
So we need a
miss.
device to see the taint.
Very well then. Here are your Cenarian plant salves. Scour Felwood for corrupted plants,
Okay.
adventurer. Wherever they are, use the salve I have given you to
I get it.
purify them.
I get it. All right. So then we started. Then I said, okay, well, we've skipped over the art because that's kind of just art. It's not really lore heavy. And I started going through those, but those are incredibly. First of all, majority of them came out as special editions. So you can only buy. You can't buy them a la carte. So the only way you can buy them is people that want to resell them on eBay. And that's a pain.
Good that you're alive, adventurer. Bad that the water still exists. I was hoping to find at least one pure source of water here in Felwood. It looks like my search has failed. The process of healing the land could have been made much easier with its existence. I will have to concern myself with saving what forest creatures I can, while destroying those that have become so corrupt that they endanger themselves as much as travelers through this once mighty forest.
Okay, so he's just basically saying, man, that sucks. The water is even corrupt up there. And he's like, yeah, basically, that was a failed mission. I guess I'll just focus on helping the animals. 6,800 XP, though. Nothing to sneeze at. And we're going to go up here now to... No, we're not. I forgot we're going to do that. We're going to go over to the corrupted Sabers and try to get that. All right, so I started this process, and like I said, now, in the first few, the Art of Warcraft, the Art of World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade, you can find a lot of them. People have uploaded PDFs of them. That's pretty good. But as we went along more and more, as the game left its peak popularity, really, and you started to get into, once you basically got past Mists of Pandaria, Cataclysm, Pandaria started to be a little harder. Like, I had to look at some weird Russian back channel sites to work my way through it. The Cinematic Art of Wrath of the Lich King, that was some eBay. So this has started to become a combination of, I buy these on eBay or I find them on my own. Because people stop. So now I'm starting to pay $30, $40, $50, $60, $70 for these tiny 30-page art books or whatever. So I bought, I think I took us up through Pandaria. I remember doing all of that. And so we've done that far of the art books. I have the Warlords of Draenor. I paid through the teeth to get that one physically. We will eventually look at that one. And then the Art of World of Warcraft, the redo version of that book is so hard to find. The copies are so expensive. And I also was experiencing the feeling as we got deeper and deeper. I'm like, okay, well, we're also looking at material that is just like, it's starting to talk about things we haven't covered yet. So even though it's not really very lore heavy, we're really looking at parts of the game that we're not to. So then I also started feeling like, okay, I'm pushing myself to do all of this, but it costs an arm and a leg, and it's covering materials that's kind of getting us beyond the timeline where I want to be. And those books didn't come out till those games came out. So I'm gonna kind of, then I was like, let me just pump the brakes on all of that. So that's what I decided to do, and this is where we're paused. So now I've decided I might come back there before we actually get there if need arises. Like if we completely run out of all other content. But... Alright, so here's our little thing again. Alright, so first of all, I'm gonna buff up just in case. You never know what's gonna happen. And then we're gonna use our kitten carrier here. Let's find out what happens. It says a common kitten jumps into the moon well and goes underwater. Then it runs out, and I guess I have to bring it back now. It's my friend. It will run with me, and I guess I bring it back. Forgot that I had to bring it back. Luckily that person just came and cleared the path for us, making this quest quite easy. But before we do anything else, we have to go turn this cat in. Which is good, because now we have salve and I can get that songflower. So anyway, that was sort of my conundrum with that. And that stopped me from doing like this 100% just go through all of the art in order. I was torn because it was really pushing us. It was a combination of I was getting burnt on spending so much money. Now I think there are other ways, because we've done... I did a book on Assassin's Creed where I had one of these same kind of things where it was like a collector's book that was only ever released in Europe and Australia, and it was going to cost an arm and a leg, but I found someone that reviewed it on YouTube. And then, so instead what I did was sort of freeze frame, go through someone else's YouTube video. So now that's another option. And if push comes to shove, if all I have is the ability to pay $150 or whatever for a book, I'll do that. We will do that. I just wasn't there yet. So now that I've kind of paused on that, but I also felt like spreading those expenses out more would be more palatable for myself and my wife to swallow. Like when I'm paying stupid amounts of money for basically obscure collector's item books, and I'm not a collector on anything else really, so other than books. I do the same thing with a couple of the book series where I get my completionist mindset just kicks into overload, and I have to pay these stupid rates for books that's really hard to find. But, you know, that is what it is. So anyway, with the WoW, there's just so many books I try to be more creative. But that's where we are on that. So then I skipped it, but we are right around there. And, yeah, see, even the static links, like Art of Legion and Art of Shadowlands, not only are they not for sale, they have never been for sale. Like, no one's posted them on Amazon. That's another thing, like, when I started looking into the Legion, it is so hard to try to find that book. The Art of Legion is... I'm hoping I can find it at some point. At least a PDF. Maybe someone will put it out there. If any of you guys have that, and you want to share PDFs with me, I'll love to go over it with people on the book, on the show. Alright, so here we're bringing her cat. Oh, maybe I have to talk to the cat. I want to release the corrupted saber to Winna. Grr. Return the corrupted cat to Winna Hazard. Okay.
Excellent. The Forsaken will resort to any means necessary to crush the Alliance. The use of the corrupted water will surely prove useful in our future efforts.
So, I don't know that anything really happens here, but what we're showing is now we've given the Forsaken a way to create corrupted saber cats. So that's kind of cool. And that's it. There's nothing that continues along with that questline. It's just a small little lore nug. Here is the origin of us giving the Horde that power. And I'm pretty sure you do see corrupted sabercats in later expansions. Alright, so now we're going to go down to the first part of Forces of Jaedenar. While we're there, we should also get the opportunity to get our last cleansed flower. Oh, where's that songflower at? Oh, somebody already cleansed it when they were coming in and out. And it happened long enough ago that we can't cleanse it ourselves. Alright, so then, if you look at what happened next is we got the Ultimate Visual Guide. I looked at the date, 2013, and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to tie the Ultimate Visual Guide into the same kind of concept. I'll wait for when it would have been released, which is actually before Draenor. So that's actually the next one I should do. So sometime during Mists of Pandaria, but I felt like it was the same thing. It was going to be an art book. I just felt like it fell into that same category. And then there's an updated and expanded version, so I'd like to kind of go through them side by side almost. That would be cool. In a perfect world, I'll be able to find versions of those. And then Folk and Fairy Tales is actually a series of short stories that we go through together. There's also Exploring Azeroth Northrend. Again, it came out in 2022. It is discussing forces of... it's discussing Wrath of the Lich King stuff, so you can kind of see it going either way. I would go either way with it. Alright, these are cultists. We need to fight... Mostly we want to look for adepts. They're the... Okay, I've just been cursed now. What's the curse that comes around this guy? Physical damage reduction curse. There's an adept. The 6 adepts are the hardest part to find on this quest if you didn't watch our Alliance version of this series. We need 4 hounds, 4 guardians, 6 adepts, and 6 cultists. Okay. Felhounds are a dime a dozen. The guards are a dime a dozen. You can easily find them. The adepts, the cultists are pretty clear, easily able to be found. And the number one reason why all of that's so easy is you can find them in the cave as well. It's the adepts that are tricky. So here is a person there, that's the human rogue doing this quest. We need these adepts. So that's what we will do. Yeah, again, I'm not really worried about any of the other stuff. This rogue just decided to come and shank the guy. Cool, I guess. They went into stealth. They can go after that. I just really want the adepts. There's Grom's blood. I mean, we need them all, but the adepts are mostly what I want. Mostly. So anyway, then I decided, all right, let's keep going. Okay, we got 1 corrupted shard. I'm looking. There's an adept. That's what I want. Okay, for whatever reason, this human is... I mean, I'm not going to complain. There is a corrupted night dragon. Dang it. Maybe they're thinking like we can kind of drift together. I had this happen once another time where someone else was going into the cave and they like drifted along with me. But here we also have the corrupted night dragon quest. Let's turn this in. You have found a sickly, corrupted version of what appears to be a night dragon plant. The fruits that hang from the plant appear rotten and poisonous. It desperately needs some sort of attention if it is to be turned back to normal. You apply 4 Cenarian plant salves to the night dragon and immediately begins to shed its corrupted form, blossoming into a vibrant and healthy plant. So now we get the night dragon. The night dragon seeds are like a rejuvenation. Gives us a little mana and health when you use it. Okay, and we've now completed corrupted night dragon. So we've done all of the corrupted plants. Now any others that we complete are just gravy for us. Now we can push forward with the Jaedenar questline. When we go into the cave, we'll also have to get the key. We're getting a little lucky here with our adepts. This is our 5th one. 6 already. Don't see another one off the top. Okay. We'll kill some of the other randos we need. Okay, so he fought his way in there. And I guess I will just set some totems here and start fighting. Dang it, which one did he take out? Okay, so that's a guardian. I'll just absorb the shadow bolts. Anyone here have the Shadow Forge key? I think that's a Black Rock Depths thing. So, now they can. Gotta be careful with the Guardians. They can shield slam you, which in my situation might be deadly because they could interrupt a heal and then make you unable to heal for a few. I like that Moonberry juice. Take it. Alright, we could fight a couple hounds here if we want. No harm, no foul. We also have a cultist we can fight here. Yeah, the other thing that makes the adepts so annoying is you need 6 of them for whatever reason. Like, they treat them as though they're as common as the Guardians, but they're not. Alright, so then if we continue to look at what's on the list after that, just because I'm into it, then there's, I never did this Ask CDev roundtable. I don't know why I haven't done that. I truly don't know why. Maybe I'm just waiting until I get down there. Also, I haven't read the story of Warcraft. Why did I not do those? I think it's because they're going to talk about different aspects of the game, so I should wait until they drop. 2010 is the first one, which is the Art of Cataclysm, even though we read the magazines, which were technically so 2010 is Cataclysm time. So I guess, so that's when they first started doing their roundtables. We were just going to read the transcripts. But that happens for 4 different BlizzCons. 2010, 11, 12, they skip 13, and then they do 14. And then there's the story of Warcraft, which doesn't come out until 2012. So I think I was just waiting until they appeared more in the timeline. See, now, Mana Burn, that's one you should interrupt. Honestly, I need to... Let's do a buff. Focus on scale salmon. Alright, so now we've already... Well, that's only one hound that we've killed. I guess I should take off... Like, how much is it... Let's see. How much cheaper is it? Actual... 30 mana? For a regular Earthshock? I guess I should just be using that. Interrupt cheaply. Also, same thing with Frost... Well, sometimes I use Frost Shock for the damage. I don't know how I feel about Frost Shock and reducing its cost. Obviously, Lightning Bolt, you want full. The other ones, Chain Lightning, Lightning Shield, you want those to be full. And then I already have a mixture of a slightly weaker healing wave. So it's not like I'm against the idea of down leveling or whatever. But Earthshock, I'm pretty much only ever using that as an interrupt. So I guess, yeah, you should have level 1 Earthshock only as your use. And I've just got to up my game by... Oh, I forgot I can skin these bad boys. We can use this Corrupted Wind Blossom if we want more Wind Blossom Seeds. The Wind Blossom Seeds are these guys right here. They are a pretty nice stam increaser. Guess, why not? It's better than some of what I have, so... Alright, we need 2 hounds, 1 guardian. We already did these before. 1 adept, 2 cultists. So... we are on the grind for those things. We'll kind of head out. And what do we own ourselves? I mean, we're going to get all the selves we want, so we really should stack up on stuff. We have 3 selves only left. But, so that's enough for a Whipper Root or one of the other 2 smallies, preferably a Song Blossom. I know a Song Blossom appears off to the side. Alright, what do we have here? There's a Guardian. There's a Hound. Hound-Guardian combo. Maybe I should go for the Hound-Guardian combo. But then he'll possibly pull another Guardian. What else do we have? Spazzing out owl. Alright, we'll go for this guy. Oh, he did not pull his ally, so that's actually cool. Okay, we'll work on this Earthshock number 1. I'm finally going to get with the times and just use it as an interrupt and not care about the damage. Gonna do it. Be smart about it. Since he's not pulling, I actually think I want to get the Pat instead. Because Pat could mess me up. I guess not. Okay, he patted really far away. He or she. I mean, I guess my life will be better by not wasting my mana on these Earth Shocks. It also would make me maybe more inclined to interrupt if I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to spend 350 mana on it. Now that's only 30 mana. It's nothing. It's basically free. It's basically just free. Alright, this is our last Guardian. The last Guardian. Also, you know what's funny? Not funny, I guess, but most of the times I'm actually shocked when I look up quest names and stuff like that. WoW will usually be the first thing that pops up for most of these quests. You're like, man, I can't believe nothing else has taken that on the internet. The last Guardian, that's not the case. There's that game, Japanese game, where there's like a big giant dog kind of monster creature. Alright, we have 2 hounds. We only need 1, so I can pull them both if I want. And now we're just stuck. Even after all the good luck we have, we are stuck waiting on an adept respawn. So I guess I will pull this hound. And if I have to fight both, I have to fight both. No worries. No worries. I did not have to fight both. Okay, so I must be high enough level that I'm just not. They're not tethering. I don't know if tethering is affected by your level as well. It feels like it is. Yeah. See, it does like no damage now, but if I'm just using it as an interrupt and I don't care about the damage, then who cares? All right, that is it. For all of these, we just need an adept, and I don't believe the adepts spawn in the caves. So we're just going to be hoping we find one out and about here. Yippee. Did we get enough shards? We have 7 shards, so we can turn in for 2 more selves if we want. What about our patches of fur? We have 4 tainted fur. I think we only need 6. I think we just need 4, but we might need 6. I mean, I guess I could do this when oh, there's a Guardian. Sometimes 1 or 2 might pop down here too. Let's see, it's a bummer. This is, I guess I could peek my head in here. Let's see. The Shrine of Deceiver. I think maybe some adepts spawn in here. How many guys do we have to fight to get them? Actually, I'm pretty sure they do. So, do we want to fight 2 guards? And who knows what else? We could add some adepts. 2 hounds, I mean. So, 3 or 4 mobs for sure. Or do we wait probably not that much more time until the adepts respawn? Also, do I do these wind blossoms? Sure, why not? Oh, I keep forgetting you get XP every time you do that too. It's great, mate. Love it. I've been trying to work on my Australian accent lately. Mate. G'day. Yes, we got an adept right there. Strength, Gav. What's that thing they always eat on their, like toast? It's like a brown, what's that called? The heck? Oh, he blinked. I was like, what? Oh man, I'm trying to remember what that's called. It's like a brown spread maybe a chia seed kind of thing. Something might, not dolomite. Is it dolomite? Maybe no, it's not dolomite. That's like an old 1960s like black action hero movie. It's got like a mite or a ite at the end of it. I can't remember what it's I'm gonna look it up. Australian spread. That's all I'm calling. Vegemite. Vegemite. That's what it's called. Made from leftover brewer's yeast and vegetables and spice additives. I'm actually reading this funny Terry Pratchett book right now. That is talks about it's called The Last Continent, but it's basically his whole riff, and I imagine that British people have a different relationship with the concept of Australia, and really probably most other English-speaking places, than other places. Like, if you're American, Australia's just cool. Like, you know, hey, it's just a faraway place, and, you know, they have a funny accent. Ha ha ha. I'm American. Ah. What? We still need 2 more cultists. How did I miss that? Oh my gosh. Can't believe that. I just noticed. It's like, wait, why is there no question mark on my map? I can't believe we walked all that way without me checking it out. Geez, you guys were watching. Why were you not sending psychic waves into the past to fix me from being a ding-dong per usual? What's our record time at? Yeah, we killed a lot of time. I don't think we'll get through the entire Jaedenar run this time because we spent so much time not goofing around, but time-consuming traveling, being over at the Undercity, turning in the slimes, walking back and forth. This little stretch. We should be able to do this, get back and forth, and then make our first run, because I think there's a couple runs, so we should be able to get our first run in where we get the key, rescue the girl. Oh, isn't there a part where we have to turn on the braziers, too? I forgot about that. That's actually probably all we'll get to today. Probably go in there and get the water to go do the braziers and come back. Then next time we'll do, which will be Friday, Saturday. Alright, so then as we continue our looky here, yeah, I guess I just decided to just wait on all of that stuff until it was appropriate, because they're going to talk about Cataclysm and stuff in the Ask the Dev roundtable. So, oh, someone got that Songflower too. Dang. Alright, so I need 2 cultists. Screwed that up. What a freaking... Really, bro? Really? Now, the cultists, I'm pretty sure we can find those anywhere, including going into the caves. You could probably... I'm not going to go into the Shrine of the Deceiver, because as we saw, you're going to fight 2 hounds and a guardian to get anywhere in there. Oh man, I just aggroed another guardian. He just wham-bammed me over and over again. Couple guardians, unnecessary. Got it. I mean, it's all, I guess, XP towards the 3 level ups we need. Whatevs. Come on, bro. Yeah, a cured ham steak. And we're gonna have to fight a guardian just to get in there. What the heck? I didn't even see that one. You jerk. I wonder if they're spawning in and I'm just getting bad luck. Because I cleared this whole area. I love this little trinket, this Mark of the Chosen. feel like it procs a pretty decent amount, and for it to be with a... Like, it just proc twice in that one fight. And with a 1 minute cooldown, it's pretty darn good. Like, plus 25 to all your stats ain't nothing. There's a cultist right there. Am I gonna have to fight this guy? Sweet. Snuck by. See, now, why not? It's free. Why not interrupt their stupid thing? Guardian. Got some rune cloth off to the side. How are we doing on rune cloth, by the way? Oh, we barely have any. That's an adept. We're not gonna... There's a cultist. We're not gonna start getting rune cloth really until we start farming those furbolgs. Alright. Sure. Interrupt it. Now... Yeah, and now, because now we can basically constantly interrupt forever. I don't know why I didn't do this before. Stubbornness. Stubbornness, that's all. Just pig-headedness. Because 30 mana is literally nothing. Every 2 seconds I get 10 when I use a mana totem, so... Not to mention you have your natural mana regeneration. Alright, now we'll go turn it in. Also, we have 9 shards now. That's not enough to really do anything. Alright, so let's get back to looking at where we were. So I think that's what happened there. I decided, you know what, these... And Sylvanas is listed right there. That's just because when that novel came out, that's when this person quit making this list. Alright, then I started going back and covering everything. We've read those stories of the lore, the folk and fairy tales. We've read chronicles. We did all of these more recently, semi-recently, over the past few months. Up to that, we've done Dawn of the Aspects. We've read these different short stories. Then we went into ancient history, ages past. So we started doing a lot of these in-game lores and Warcraft encyclopedia entries. Long ago, we read that Death from Above short story. We read the Rise of the Horde book, and then that's what a lot of this is. So that's what we've been doing lately. We looked at the videos of the Burdens of Shao Hao. And we have done War of the Ancients, so that's not just because it was time traveling. We watched Ajara Warbringer's video, and yeah, we've done a lot. We've done a lot of these Warcraft encyclopedias. We've been doing those going back to the now defunct. Okay, we did Chronicles. Then we hit within 10,000 years. We read more stories. Same thing. In-game objects, Warcraft encyclopedias. We've been bouncing along. Long ago, we read this part of Paragon's Blood of the Highborn. Very, very good story. Multiple chapters, short story, but like a novella, I would call it. And then lately, we've been getting closer and closer. We read these in-games. We already read Comic Legends before. Like, I don't even know what my rhyme or reason why some I decided to and some I didn't. Other than I just felt like, I guess, these weren't worthy. Seven Kingdoms... That was something we read maybe last week. So we're getting really close to where we are right now. And we just read The Uninvited Guest.
I welcome you, adventurer.
Okay.
And the Emerald Circle welcomes you. Hopefully together we can help
Here's forces of
rejuvenate and
Jaedenar
protect
we're gonna
this
now turn
once
in.
mighty forest. Many forces seek to destroy it from without and within. Do not be persuaded by the power here.
Come on.
It will only corrupt you
I don't
like
want
it
your
has this
gossip.
entire land. Good, adventurer. With their numbers weakening, we can further press them. How was your first taste of their power? Were they as strong as you thought they would be? Stronger? Or perhaps they were no challenge for you at all. Wouldn't that be something? We can discuss the details of your exploits later. There are other things we must focus on now.
Okay, so let's do signing off on Forces of Jaedenar. So Forces of Jaedenar, that's a yellow one. That's way up here. Yeah, I forgot about the collection of water, so that's going to slow us down. We're going to do that one right now. That'll be probably the last thing that we get to today.
Deep within Jaedenar lies Shadowhold, the main fortress of their corruption and evil. The Shadow Council has protective spells surrounding their lair in the form of braziers. If I'm to find out any more information about our enemy through scrying, then those braziers must be extinguished. By doing so, I should be able to spy on the council and find out who leads them. If you can, take this canteen and fill it at the moonwell in the center of Jaedenar. Return to me afterwards.
Will do. All right, so this part we're going to do. Yeah, so if we look at our sheet, yeah, we still have probably a half an hour or so. So, and I think we can use that time to run here, fill up the well, come back, turn it in. Then she's going to want us to go to Ratchet. So we will then hearth to Orgrimmar, fly down to Ratchet, walk down and cleanse the water, because we did this on Alliance, so that's why I'm spoiling it for you. And then we can astral recall back to Orgrimmar again and fly back here. So depending on our time after we astral recall, I'll get on that flight path either off camera or on camera. We'll look and see. If we finish all that just in a few minutes, like 10 minutes from now, then sure, we'll fly back, travel back, turn that in together. If not, I'll at least save us that last flight from Orgrimmar back to Jaedenar. Alright. Okay, so the uninvited guest got us to the Doom of Draenor, which is where we're at right now. So we are in this 50-year period before the Dark Portal opens. Now here's where things get interesting. We had already read the Warcraft Legends, and even though it's an alternate Draenor universe, we actually read the Warlords of Draenor Blood and Thunder comic. So for whatever reason, I said that was cool. Then we recently read these two in-game Last Guardian. I think the last one we did is kill Jaden in the Shadow Pact. So that opens up to 20 years before the Dark Portal. We already read Chronicles of that. We already read the flashback Rise of the Horde. We've actually read all of Rise of the Horde. So those two pieces are done already. That brings us to our next thing, which is definitely non-canon. It is the film alternate universe when the Warcraft movie came out. So there is actually a book called Warcraft Duraton. You look at this right here. So it is the official movie prequel. It is a book. I can't remember if I own it or not, but either way, I'm pretty sure you can buy it on like a digital form. We should be able to get easy access to it. So it is a prequel novel to the movie version of Warcraft, which is crazy to me. They actually came out with 2 books because there's also a novelization of the movie, which we will later read. All right, so all we were to do is to come to this well and fill this empty canteen. Easy peasy. Second well we've gone to and filled up from these corrupted wells. And now we're going to bounce. This place is now crawling with respawn mobs. And now, so that didn't take a long time. We're going to walk by. And that's actually what is going to be going on for us for a little while. That's going to be our in-game lore. Most novels have somewhere around 20-ish chapters, 20 to 25. So that will be a chapter a day. It'll be a little longer, but get back. I have not read a book with us in a while, so I'm actually kind of excited. When I was doing almost all book reading, you know, it starts to while it's nice to read the books and I like reading, it starts to have a, you know, you get burnt. Just like now, lately, I've been kind of burnt on playing Classic because I prep, and like I said, it's the majority game I play. So I've been trying to branch out. Mostly my branch out has been playing a little bit of Grim Dawn every day. Unfortunately, I picked an incredibly unpopular class because in my insanity, there's a lot of classes, I don't know, 20 or so classes you can be in that game because it's like 8 main archetypes, and every archetype can mix with every other kind of archetype to make a class. So that means there's 7 classes that go with the first one, and then 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So if you average that out, that's basically around 16 classes or so, give or take. I don't remember if 8 is the actual number. I'm just estimating. So there might be more than that. There might be more like 25, because if you add even one more class type on there, now you've jumped up another 8 classes. If there's 2 more, you've jumped up 17 more classes. I think there actually might be somewhere around 30 classes, if I'm right, which means there's somewhere around 10 base classes that you can pick from to start with, which kind of makes sense. So that's not even counting the new one that's going to come out in the newest expansion. All right, let's turn in this. I forgot to even
How may I
clock
aid
it, then
you?
we picked it up.
May the eternal sun shine upon
Once
you.
we have the waters from the moon well, we will purify it and use it to extinguish the braziers of protection within Shadow Hold. That should allow me ample time to see into the chambers even deeper and discern who actually leads this cult. I pray the Earth Mother is with us.
This will do nicely, adventurer. Now, all we have to do besides apply the waters to the braziers is to have it purified. That should not be difficult. It should only require a little travel.
What?
Hopefully we can do this quickly.
A little travel in World of Warcraft? I don't believe it. Alright, so we just completed this, and we're going to be picking up Seeking Spiritual Aid. So it's good, too, because this is the beginning of the... this is getting us from the earlier part. And then we'll be turning in this one. Verifying? Oh, we already did Verifying the Corruption. I forgot to check that one off, too. When did we do that? I think we turned in Corrupted Sabers first. Did we? No, we did not. So it's actually right here. It was right there. I missed Verifying the Corruption. I forgot to pick that one. I forgot to put that we turned that one in. Okay. Yeah, then this is all... Yeah, those will come up soon. Okay. I think that's good now.
Take the corrupt water to the Barrens, adventurer. South of Ratchet, hidden along the shore, is an old friend of mine, a shaman named Islin Waterseer. She is a powerful shaman who will help us. Her relationship with the spirits of water has always been strong. Our task being a noble one should be enough to persuade her and the spirits of water to aid us in this task. You should find her at a small camp right along the water's edge. And adventurer, ignore the pirates. They are but a nuisance and no threat to you.
At this point in the game, that's true. Oh, we cannot use our Hearthstone right now. We will have to use Astral Recall. 15-minute cooldown, but we only have 9 minutes left on the Hearth. So, hopefully it will be up. By the time we get to Ratchet and go get to Islin, that should be 9 minutes. If that's the case, we can do a little bit of quick summarizing. Yeah, then that should allow us, actually, like I said, well, I guess it's going to depend on how long it takes to get there. It's going to be close. We can probably go back and turn this quest in at least. Like I said at the top, experiencing every heartbeat together. Anyway, so the point of, again, this aside, I get myself off track so much, is
down at the world from the back of a wind rider.
Is that I'm looking forward to reading a book. So even though it's going to be a film, cinematographic alternate universe, this will take us a while. Lately, I've been reading 2, 3 a week, so it'll probably take us somewhere between 7 to 9 weeks to get through a book at the rate that we've been going. In that 7 to 9 week time, so that will be all of our side lore. No more in-game lore for basically the next couple months, maybe a little bit less. So we're going to be on, it's starting August, so that's basically through August and most of September is where this is going to take us. in that amount of time, we've been, assuming I can stay ahead and not slow us down, I've been accomplishing basically about 3 quests of in-game lore a week as well. I mean, of long plays. So in that amount of time, we'll get around 25 more in-game. I'll do 2 this weekend actually as well. But either way, so that should, let's see, we're on the 3rd one, maybe 5 more, probably less. Because we'll have an episode where we do Jaedenar. And then start to work our way up here. Maybe at least do the first pinch. And then we'll have an episode really where we do these wild. That's gonna, honestly, between the 3 quests, it's gonna take us a huge part. Maybe we finish another part of that. So that's 2 episodes, and then it will probably take us 2 episodes of grinding. So we realistically probably have about 4, maybe 5, because that grind might take us even a little longer. So it's going to be 4 to 5 more episodes just getting through Felwood, but then Ajara is very, very short. It will take us tops 4 episodes to get through it on both. So that gets us through this period. We're looking at maybe around 8. Let's lowball it here a little bit. Around 8 episodes to get through that. Then that will take us to Ungoro Crater. It's hard for me to get a bead on how long Ungoro Crater will take us because I'm not fully done with it yet. By 8 episodes means that I've got maybe 2 more weeks after this one. So of course the hope is, after this week, the hope is that by mid-August I'm done with Ungoro. It's possible. Then Ungoro, if it's a normal zone, I'm trying to think about what is Ungoro going to take us. Like I said, it's really hard. It's a long time collecting the crystals, so that's one facet that's boring as heck. It will basically take us an entire episode just collecting crystals. You have some travel that goes along with Lincoln, that quest line, which we'll get into later. That's easily an episode. Then you have some general killing of dinosaurs and some side crap. That's easily an episode. Maybe 1 to 2 more. Okay, so let's just say it's going to be around 5 or 6, because it's a decent sized zone with some travel and some slime turn in. So let's just be conservative and say 6 each. So that's 12 episodes it'll take.
You've come further than many, adventurer. Respect the elements around you, and you shall fare far greater than most.
I see you are not just a simple traveler looking for the path to Ratchet. Come, sit and rest at our camp. Speak to me when you are ready.
Ah, you need the water from this moon well cleansed. Stopping this force of malice in Felwood seems noble enough, but it is not for me to decide if the water will be purified. I will ask the spirits of water. It will be up to them to decide if the cause is just. Give me a moment and I will tell them of your plea. I hope they are as sympathetic as I am to your cause.
Okay. So back to the spreadsheet here. This is going to be seeking spiritual aid. And she's going to give us the next quest.
Ancestors watch.
So what does she do? Also, that only took us like 5 minutes. Like, we're still 3 minutes, 4 minutes off of being able to even use the Hearthstone. Spirits of water, I give you praise, and I beg of you a favor. You have heard Gleekinsoul's pleas, and I trust her intent is noble. Please, will you aid us? This is the manifestation of water. Ocean frot zon ventil, velkogati, koko frot kodrinor, ko zondrinor, ko shin tor techor drinor. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you. Okay.
You wish to speak?
Thank the spirits, adventurer. They are the ones that have come to your aid, not me. I give this purified water to you now. Please give my regards to Greta and my best wishes. She is tackling something greater than many of us. As I'm sure she will soon find out. The Shadow Council is not a force to be trifled with, adventurer. Remember that. Go now. Take the water and return to Greta.
Yeah, so basically she's just saying, don't mess with the Shadow Council. Or not don't mess with them, but, you know, these people are for real. And good luck, or whatever. Alright, so now we're kind of stuck here. I have a minute and a half. That's going to ultimately save me some time to hearth my way back, but it was really cutting it tight here. So travel time wasn't as bad as what I thought. It says 4 minutes on that, but that's like a glitch in, I don't know if it's LVI or whatever, but there's a glitch where yeah, see, now it's synced up. It won't always match exactly. We have a minute, so by the time I make it to the flight path, it's gonna still save us time. It just means we're waiting a minute, which is annoying, but what are you gonna do? And then when we get back there, because I do think it will save us more than 1 minute to fly from Orgrimmar. Actually, it doesn't even really matter. But it will save us more than even 30 seconds or whatever it's going to wind up being. Because, yeah, it's literally not less than 30 seconds. So we'll okay, we just got to the flight path. So 23 seconds. We will save by, it'll have to be 23 seconds of waiting, but we'll cut off the whole flight from here to Orgrimmar. We're really just splitting hairs. It's just a few minutes of saving time, but it is what it is. Could have sold some of that stuff. Is there a vendor? Alright, there we go. To Orgrimmar we go. And yeah, so I don't know. We're going to experience this together. I have watched the Warcraft movie. I don't know that I'm going to do a full watch. Mostly because, one, I think it might be cooler. Like, if you wanted to watch that movie, you don't need to watch it with me. Two, I've seen it before. It is what it is. I didn't hate it. I was kind of neutral to it, and as someone that loves Warcraft, you can make a Warcraft neutral. And I'm kind of just like, that kind of gives you, to me, that's all the answer you need. But maybe I'll, you know, appreciate it more in hindsight. Yeah. So we're about 10 minutes away from where I would want to end this episode, which gives us a little time. So what we'll do is we will land, walk back, turn in that quest, and that's about where we'll end. I guess we could start. We'll also pick up our salves, because I have one that can be turned in, maybe two, I think just one. And that's, yeah, that's it. Still made decent progress today. It's just time consuming. There is still a little bit of travel too, because when we start doing these Winterfell quests, or whatever, the Wildkin, whatever the heck they are, we'll be going back and forth after each quest, so that's time consuming. That's why just doing the 3 Wild Guardians quests is like an hour and a half, 2-hour episode in itself, because they're annoying to hunt down, and you have to keep going back and forth 3 times. Killing these guys, particularly when we have to kill the ones that are over here that are farming. That takes a while. You saw us do it on Horde, on our Alliance, so that could be potentially time consuming, and then we know it's going to take 2 to 3 episodes for the grinding. Anyway, so after I timed out Ungoro, I think that brings us to around 20 episodes, so we might be wrapping up. If not, we'll probably be somewhere around, by the time we finish this novel, either just starting or a couple episodes into the Blasted Lands. I should hopefully be done with everything by then. I think I will. I think I'll be done with Ungoro. I've been making pretty good progress. If you look at my Ungoro stuff, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, those two don't count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not neither does that one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17, 18, 19, 20-ish. Okay, so there's 19 quests or so. Each one has to be done twice. Out of around 55. So I'm more than halfway done. 54. So 27, 57. Yeah. I'm about 2/3 of the way done with Ungoro. So that's pretty good. I've been making good progress. I will probably over the next few days before I'm about to get slammed starting Monday, just absolutely wrecked. That's another thing that I'm trying to kind of keep in the back of my mind. Basically from now until at least October, I'm going to be slammed. Like, I can't see working less than 50 hours a week in the office, bringing work home. I can't see not doing that. I'm hoping. I mean, the only way is if, like, I really do not succumb to the distractions of working in the workplace, which is like I can't socialize. I can't, get stopped in the hall to chat with security. I can't. I've got to focus. And I think for the most part, since that's within and I can't, like, get burnt out. I can't look at my phone. Like, if I really, for every minute I'm at work, if I really work, I can maybe pull it off without having to work going on weekends. Like, no breaks, nothing. I gotta really, really, really focus on that. And the reason why, like, I don't know, some of you guys might be like, yeah, that's how you should work, bro. I don't know. And some of you might be like, dude, I can't imagine not taking a second, not chatting with your coworkers, So I'm sure there's both schools of thought. For me, because I'm salary, I don't. There's no, like, I have a job to do. I get paid to do that job. If I can do it in an hour, great. If I have to work weekends or whatever, then that's what I have to do. So it's really all about myself. Like, I have to do my work. It's like a contracted thing, so however long, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are like that too. I think, unfortunately, I hear, like, a lot of stories the other side. Like, I was just talking to someone the other day who their son is, like, a game dev that works on, like, UI for Roblox or something like that. But he has it as a full-time job. He gets to work from home, and he gets paid. They give him, like, an assignment. Each assignment has a deadline. You do this is what you're working on for this deadline. But for him, I guess it's kind of like being on a salary. Like, he gets his monthly or weekly salary so long as he meets his deadline. I mean, this is just some kid, and he can make his deadline by working like 2 hours a day. So cool. He probably makes more than me too. I cannot. I'll tell you right now, it is physically impossible for me to. I'm sure there are ways I can get a little bit better at coding, and like light formula, kind of basically the spreadsheet equivalent of macros. I'm sure there are corners I can cut. I always learn new things all the time, teach myself new things. But that's the thing, like, I have to go out and find it and teach myself. and then I have to do that equation, like I have to do that calculation, will I save more time in the long run? And in the short run, the answer is often no. I will not save more time, because by the time I research it and learn if there even is a thing that I want to do, but sometimes it's worth it. Because if it's going to impact my job forever more, then heck yeah, it's worth it. Alright, we've returned the cleansed water.
The winds guide you.
I see you've returned, Leakin Soul. Good. Did you find Iceland in the Barrens, or do we have to find another way to accomplish our
This
goals?
should be more than enough water for our purposes. I'm glad to hear that Islan was able to help us. Her strength with the water spirits has always been a strong one. She is also wise, and rare is it that the spirits do not agree with her purpose. The fact that both of them have blessed our task gives me hope that we are on the right path.
Well, yeah, nobody likes the Searing Blade or Burning Shadow Coven, whatever. Nobody likes them. Why would they not bless your task, girl?
Now you must return to Jaedenar. The braziers are more than likely spread throughout Shadowhold. Douse each of their flames, and the protections the Council has set up will fall for at least a short period of time. I will be waiting for that to happen. When it does, I will look deep within the hold and try to find out who the head of this beast is. Then, and only then, will we see about attacking them directly.
May the eternal...
Okay, so here is where it's going to start, where we do part 1. So this is... Nope, those two we're waiting on. That's all of that is the first batch of is I guess part 2 of the Timber Maw. All of that. We're doing this. So now we're getting into Jaedenar. This is going to be part of this attempt right now. That happens after. And then we will have this secondary attempt right here. Then I guess we'll finish the first round of the Deadwood. Maybe go into the second round. Complete all of that stuff. And then we have the Wild Guardians thing. And we will follow it by the grind at the very end. Alright, what are we at with time? Okay, I mean, we're pretty much at the end. I think, yeah, I guess let's just stop right here. Because, that will give us time for me to greet you guys and everything on the next long play as we do our walk up to there. But that's where we'll do it. So the next episode should be really focused on Jaedenar, so that should be a fun one. That's actually, like, dense questing. Maybe we move on and start doing the first part of the Felpaw if we have time. Alright, thank you everybody so much for watching and listening. Like I said, next time you check me out, we're going to start a new novel. It's going to be that film alternate universe, so definitely not canon, but it'll be interesting aside. And I appreciate what you joining me on this trip today. If you like it, like, subscribe, leave me the comments, tell me how to get better, tell me what you like, give me some talking points, whatever you want. Get that. Be part of the greater community of the 1,200 plus people that join us on this journey all the time. And I'll see you guys on the next episode, because this one's in the pipe 5x5.